on our way to pick up a drag car, finally. We've been talking about this for a while. If you watch regularly, you know we've been talking about this for a while. And it's finally happening. Now we're building drag cars in a sense with the turbo truck, the Monte Carlo, but those are street cars. We want to build a race car, a real proper, lightweight, fast drag car, like some serious stuff. And I've just been so indecisive. I've been wanting to do this for a couple of years now, and I just couldn't find the right one. I made posts on Turbo Bullet and had a ton of options. I mean, so many options, good options, but nothing really stuck out to me as like, this is the one. This is the car I'm going to put a ton of time and money into building, and I want to race. This is it. And not that I'd given up, but you know, I tried a couple different times to look for chassis, and again, just nothing really stood out to me until I decided on a completely different route altogether, and I was looking for a Corvette chassis to build. And in that search, I happened to find a bunch of drag car chassis on Marketplace. Not on the pages, just on Marketplace, out in the wild. And I stumbled across this one, and when I first saw it, I was like, man, this is it. This is it. This does it for me. And then I sent it to Raldo and Josue, and they felt the same way. And it's local. It's not too far from us. Right by my old neighborhood where I lived for 5 years, where I started out this YouTube channel. Literally across the street, basically. So, I don't know. All signs pointed. It felt like it was meant to be. We were all on board. We went and looked at it. We got to make some changes to it, but overall, I think it's a great base. It's unique, it's different, and in theory, if we get it done right, it should be insanely fast. So that being said, we are on our way to go pick it up. We got the trailer hooked up. Hopefully we can get this thing in the trailer. It may or may not roll. We won't know until we get there, but we're going to try to get this thing loaded up, bring it home, and get an idea of exactly what we're working with. So we made our way over to pick up the car. We got stuck behind this tractor, but we decided we were going to make a quick pit stop at Wawa, get some refreshments, and take a quick bathroom break. That's one of my kind of rules of thumb when I go to look at a car, is I always stop and take a bathroom break right before I get there, because there's nothing worse than needing to go and trying to rush through a decision because you're ready to leave. So with that out of the way, our kind of ritual when it comes to going looking at a car, we made it to the guy's house. Now this thing is tucked back here. From what we understand, it has been sitting in this spot for 5 years. So whether or not you could call it a barn find is debatable. This is more of a lean-to, less of a barn, but the car has been sitting tucked away, more or less rotting away for 5 years. So it took us playing a lot of car charades to get all of this stuff out of the way just to get to the trailer that the car is on, which has also been sitting for 5 years. So it's got flat tires and the rails are falling off. And more importantly, it has no ramps. So getting this car off the trailer is really our biggest hurdle at the moment. We don't know if the tires are going to take air. We don't know if things are seized up, if it's going to roll, if it's going to do anything. This could be easy or it could be very complicated. So the first step was to put some air in the tires and just see if they would take it. The back tires took air, the front tires not so much. But we went ahead and pulled the front clip off and started devising a plan on how we were going to do this. After everything checked out with the car, we made the deal, gave the guy the money, and now it's our car. So if we mess it up getting it off the trailer, you know, that's on us. So we decided to put some dollies at the back to try to lessen the step down onto the pavement. But fortunately, this thing does have some pretty big tires, so it wasn't terrible. Say it. Say it.
I ain't going nowhere.
It's so tiny in here.
It's just right.
Yeah. By far the smallest car.
As the vet, this is ball status in Puerto Rico.
A new ride.
You guys steer, I'll push.
Yep.
Gently.
Honestly, it's easier to keep this one straight than it's flat.
We're inside. It fits inside. The wheels.
Oh my god. That is pretty wild.
That's a spread.
We like variety around here.
Este es mi nuevo RX7 drag car.
All right, this is our new 1980 RX7 drag car. So this is what we decided on. Might seem like an odd choice, but it spoke to us. It spoke to us. Raldo and Josue are from Puerto Rico, and this is very, what would you say, like back to their roots?
Yeah.
What was the word? It was built in Puerto Rico.
It's got history, apparently.
This one just fit the bill perfectly. And again, it might seem like an odd choice. Why would you not go with a big muscle American car? But we measured it out. We went that first day, we looked at it, and I took a ton of measurements to figure out if what we wanted to put in here was gonna fit. And it will fit, no problem. The other thing is, it's got everything that we would want for a no prep car. So it's strut front, so we can change these front struts out. They already have a little cup here, so we can get a bunch more travel just mounting them up top, and then we can get a bunch more travel in general. So we can get a lot of travel out of the front end if we need it, front end travel. It's 4-link in the rear. It's literally, the base is perfect for what we're trying to do. It needs very little changes and modifications to suit what we're trying to do with it. And it is very small and very light. Right now it's got a 31 by 14 on it. Absolutely massive steamrollers. We're not going to be running tires that big. We're going to be running this in small tire. But the wider the car is, the less power you need to go fast, the less wear on the drivetrain because you're not trying to move as much weight, and the easier it is to make the car go fast and leave hard. So supposedly this was weighed recently, and it was 1,050, which would be absolutely insane. That means probably with the drivetrain, electronics, me in it, we could be around 2,000 flat, which would be absolutely absurd. Even 2,200 pounds race ready would be completely insane. Let me show you how light this thing is. I mean, it's an awkward shape to pick up. I'll do it here.
Use them legs. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, the door.
That was a lot higher than I thought.
And then let's see if I can lift the back.
Oh, I don't know about the back, but
I think I lifted it on the trailer. It's this one you have less room to grab. I don't know about the back. Hold on, I'm gonna try. No, okay, that's a little heavy. But it's very lightweight. You can lift the whole front of the car, no problem. It's got giant tubs, so I guess let me show you, give you a tour. So obviously, First Gen RX7. It's got the race car doors with the race car door latch deals. These, the chromoly frame, plexiglass. It's full tube chassis, but it's still got factory frame rails. It still has factory firewall, which is neat because a lot of classes require a factory firewall. But while having a pretty short mid-plate measurement, the engine's pretty far back even with the factory firewall because it's a small car. But you can see all the carbon work. We got carbon tubs. We've got all this aluminum with carbon inlays. Really, really nicely done. As you can see, it is incredibly dirty right now, but even the dash, you know, for a custom-made dash, it is such a nice-looking dash. Normally, custom dashes like this look terrible, in my opinion. But yeah, so we need to change a few things. It was made for, they call it a jockey, a very small driver. So I'm pretty tight up there with the hoop.
it already has the button. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, this is perfect. Because even though this is an open face, like the
the dome
thickness is even worse than my other helmet. Yeah. Why am I strapping this on?
in case.
Definitely enough to make this probably go out further too. So cut that too. Bring this out a little bit.
Probably push the pedals back some too.
Yeah, but I think if we cut this out and make it a little wider and a little taller, because I mean the helmet probably adds, let's say, 2 inches, and I can like just clear. I could just run no helmet, you know.
Yeah, alright.
Death.
First launch. Knocks himself out. I was gonna say, don't watch it just yet, because then you can't get out. Yeah, I'll TV that or something.
The pedals probably would be okay if I sit like normal, you know. And we get rid of this shit. We have a nice, smart wire for this thing. As long as we don't damage the other tubes cutting it out. It's not a big deal to replace that one because it's this, and then probably have to do it in one of these two. So it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 tubes. We're gonna have to basically replace this portion of the hoop and bring it up. There's plenty of room up to the roof to tuck it up a little bit higher. Maybe redo some of the seat mounting. We may have to change up the transmission mount situation a little bit. But the bones, as they call it, this is a perfect time to use that term when referring to a car. It's got good bones, right? Literally everything that we need is there. Oh, and the axle. We'll dig more into this when we start cleaning it up, but it's got a Mark Williams rear axle. So this, basically the ends bolt on. So if we want to widen it for a different wheel and tire setup, we can get different housings basically in different axle shafts and widen it. It's got the 4-link brackets built in. You can see it's got a pretty big beefy sway bar, honestly, up there. Right now it doesn't have rear shocks in it. It's just got these bars, but that's our rear shock location. Again, it has literally everything we need to make this into the type of car we want to make it into. And it's tiny and it's light. Should we weigh it? We should weigh it. I mean, we can literally lift the front onto the scales. Oh, it's got another really cool thing is this is obviously, it's off the car, a one-piece front end, but it doesn't look like it because this is a slide. This isn't just painted. This is ground in, you know, all the body lines. This is airbrushed here. This is all airbrushed. These are all airbrushed. It literally looks like the stock front end, but it's a fiberglass one-piece front end. How cool is that? That's my favorite feature of the whole car. But we looked through it very thoroughly that first day, yesterday. And everything I could find looked great. All the welding is really good. The fit up on everything, it all looks really good. So I think we've got a really good base to start with. It's a little out of the box, you know, you don't really see many of these with the engine combination we plan on putting in this, but I think if we do it right, it could be really fast. Should be really fast. It's very light, so that's good. What do you guys think?
We're excited.
Yeah. We all felt it.
Yes, we all felt it in the heart. There's something special about this car.
Yeah, we were all drawn to it, you know, like I sent it to them, the link. I sent them a bunch of cars. Which one did you like? And I was like, this one, the RX-7 was the one that I wanted the most, you know? And then I hit up Justin, Big Chief, and asked him, you know, some questions. Because for me, it's like I wanted it. As far as the car and everything about it, I wanted it. But as far as, is it a logical choice? That's where I wasn't sure. So I asked him, and he gave me a lot of good insight and basically said it was a logical choice. So once we had logical stamped and the heart wants it stamped, couldn't go wrong. It's crazy because I've been looking on and off for so long for a chassis, and just nothing really felt like this is the one until we found this car. So yeah, let's weigh it. Enough jibber jabber. Right.
Just in case.
Just so we have one. Yeah, that's right. It's so wild. Oh, we gotta zero the scales though. I had this problem the last time I tried to use this thing.
Okay. 10:30.
Bring your phone, take a picture quick.
10:38.
My thing is very.
So hard to take a picture.
What does this thing need to get fixed?
Corroded pad.
Yeah, and it's way rear bias now. The left rear is 430 pounds and the right rear is 245. Oh, well, I guess all the cage work.
Mm-hmm.
1,037. That's on no front end, so probably 15, 20 pounds for the front, 1,050. Sounds about right. That's wild.
That is very wild. Now that it's confirmed.
Yeah, it's like engine, transmission. I don't think the drivetrain will be more than 700 or 800, and then fuel, driver, I'd say at 500 is generous. So 23 22, 23
at that
ready to
point.
go is feasible for sure.
I think it's definitely got to be conscious of it the whole time.
Yeah. 1,037, no front end. So probably a little over 1,050. That number was correct, which is sick because that is insane. We could hopefully be 22, 2,300, all said and done, ready to go. My scale's just the batteries got corroded. We're gonna lift the hatch. It looks like it's still, I think it's still hinged, which would be really cool. We are gonna need to replace all this plexiglass, basically every piece of it. The sides, the back, the windshield, the windows. But we're pros now. Me and Josue have earned our patch, as he says, in making this stuff. And this is a lot simpler than the vet rear window. All of these are simpler.
It looks a lot simpler. Hopefully that's the case.
Look at that. Oh, dude, we got room back here. Look at that. Those pockets back there. What's under here? Oh, battery spot.
I.e. fuel tank spot. Just kidding.
Right?
Something spot.
Yeah. I mean, we could put the battery back there.
It's there.
But we could also put the battery up there and make this for weight, honestly. Like weight bars go in here.
Oh, catch can. Don't get going back here.
That's what's going back here. With a little hole through the window and this,
Gotta
so we
be
can see it.
official.
And then we can put weight in these back corners, which would be good. Because dude, if we're 2,300, we could add 400 pounds and still be at 2,700.
Anyway, just to know.
Or maybe we would put the weight here, depending on how much weight we could fit there, and do like the catch can on the side or something. Oh, I can't wait to start building it. It's so perfect because it's got like just the right amount of like, it's done. A lot of the hard stuff's done, but there's still a lot for me to do and get creative
There's a
with.
lot of fun stuff to do.
Yeah, fun, rewarding,
To make it
satisfying
yours
stuff.
too.
Yep. All right. Well, we got a pretty good idea up here from the top side, looking at the car, of what needs to be done, what needs to change. So I'd like to get it up on the lift and take a look underneath. You can't really tell much because the car sits so low. Josue went ahead and soaked all this tape and Goo Gone. So the door latch and everything is here. You've got your window top latch and then the door latch here, and that goes to this handle here and the outside handle, which is pretty neat. So the complicated part's all there. It's just missing the striker, which we have. They're over there in the car. Our guess is that they forgot to put them on before they basically enclose this area, and you can't really get in there to put nuts on the backside of the bolts. So we'll have to figure that out and get the strikers on. But in the grand scheme of, yeah, right, big whoops. But in the grand scheme of attaching, getting the doors to latch, that's probably the simplest problem we could have. So anyway, we're gonna start cleaning this thing up. It should be pretty satisfying. We've also got to do a whole lot of car shuffling. This thing's got a messed up clutch in it. I'm hoping it's just the hydraulics. Need to change those so that this thing's drivable. Need to get the turbo truck out of the way. Get the 8.6 back on its spot on that lift. We got to shuffle. Moral of the story. So I'm going to quit jibber jabber and we're going to get back to work on cleaning this thing and doing some car shuffling. To get the 8.6 on the stacker lift, we've got to move the Monte Carlo so that we can drop the middle platform down. Now, when we put the stacker lift here, the reason was because once we have this paved behind the shop, we wanted to be able to drive cars out the back door if the front was too packed. So I wanted to give it a shot with the Monte Carlo because it's high enough to go over the lip, but what I didn't account for was just how soft the ground's going to be and how not great the tires on the car are.
Nice little side quest.
So with all of the car shuffling, musical car work done, everything kind of in its place aside from the E36, Josue got to work on cleaning the tape off this door that's probably been on there for well over 5 years, and I got to work on trying to fix the E36. Now I'm hoping this is just a hydraulics problem. Basically the pedal started getting kind of odd and then it's just stuck to the floor, which usually would indicate a hydraulics problem, but it could be a clutch problem. I'm hoping not, because I just want to get this thing out of the way for now because we've got some new projects that are ready to come in and get to work. So I went ahead and tossed some new clutch hydraulics on, got everything tightened up. I hooked my power bleeder up top. These things are amazing. It basically forces the fluid in from the top and out the bottom. It works great for bleeding a clutch system or a brake system by yourself. So after doing that, the pedal felt pretty good by hand. So it was time to wrap everything up, tidy everything up, get this thing off the lift, take it for a little test drive, and make sure it still works, or that it works now. And if it does, then we can tuck it away behind the shop. All right, well, we've done all of our vehicle musical cars. Got the E36 fixed, got that sorted, got it out back, got the truck back in, got the Monte Carlo in. Lesson learned, backing it in, way easier than driving it forward in. That was the original plan, but we just ended up driving them in forward. 8.6 back on the lift, so all those cars, boom, tucked out of the way. And Josue managed to do the impossible and get all of that freaking tape off. Look at that, dude. Like, oh, it's, you gotta do the latch. Chill. Look at that. It's so exciting. God, just that makes a world of difference. Imagine once we clean the rest of it.
Gotta save the paint.
Yeah,
Save the patina.
save the paint. It's gotta have character. We're gonna have to, it has the setup for a drag wing. It just doesn't have the drag wing, so we're gonna have to put a drag wing on it. We gotta make one out of carbon because all the carbon in this thing. As I promised, I want to get this thing on the lift. These come with the steamroller attachment. Oh no, it's not gonna work.
No?
Not with the front clip on. We can take the front clip off though. All right, take a first gander with me, people.
The jungle gym.
So there's the brake setup and the clutch,
You
which
see the clutch, which was interesting, but the brake is even more interesting.
we'd probably want to do like go off this plate, I think, if we can. So that way, if we wanted to adjust the 4-link, you wouldn't have to move that bar with it from these brackets.
Look at that, so the little things.
Oh yeah, for the drain plug. It's so simple. I wonder how sunk it's gonna be with it. Might be a little sunk. But it's like we could go even lower offset on the wheels, I think, if we needed to. Have these as the big tire setup and then a small tire setup. I wasn't sure how crazy the offset was on these, but it looks like it's aggressive, but I think you could go more aggressive. Just get a new set of wheels all around for our small tire. All right, well, we kind of ran out of time to start working on cleaning this thing because we've gone down the rabbit hole. And since most of these panels are removable, we're gonna basically take everything apart and off the car that we can and clean all the pieces individually so we don't tear up the carbon fiber. We're gonna keep everything as nice as we can and basically get more access to the tubes. That way we can clean and inspect everything, find any potential issues with welds or cracks or things like that. Just give this thing a good once over before we start putting it back together. You know, we're gonna have to take it apart to make some changes like the transmission cross member and things like that. So I think that's a better plan than trying to rush clean it just for the satisfaction of seeing it clean. We might as well just pull this whole thing apart. So that's the plan. We're gonna get this thing stripped apart and start working on the next steps. The biggest thing is getting the driver compartment to where I can comfortably and safely fit with a helmet in there. That's really my biggest concern. Once we get through that, I'll be really happy. But I want to go ahead and tear the rear end apart, you know, go through we're going to go through this thing tip to tail. We're not just going to leave what's in it and hope that it's all good. There's a lot to do, a lot to check over, but I think we've got a pretty good base to start with. I think based on, you know, where a lot of the rules are and are going and what we want to do, this is really a good option for us. It's a little outside the box, but in my head it makes perfect sense, you know? So this thing could and hopefully will be an absolute monster. I'm so excited for it. I'm glad, you know, Raldo and Josue are so excited for it. You know, it's something they're very passionate about. And it's also the one that spoke to me the most, you know, the one that I saw that I was really just like fell in love with. And a huge shout out to Justin, Big Chief, for answering all of my questions on this. Me and him have talked back and forth before. We kind of have a similar approach to the way we do things. He's a little bit more methodical than me and more patient, but anyway, he's a cool person to chat with. And I'd asked him what his thoughts were on what kind of chassis I should look for. And, you know, we had gone back and forth talking about that. And then when I came across this one, I sent it to him and, you know, I really thought he was going to shoot it down immediately. That's never going to work. It's too light. It's too this. It's too that. But he was on board. He gave me kind of a rundown of what would need to be changed to make it, you know, more suited for no prep. And it was nice to have that vote of confidence because this is what I wanted to get, but I didn't want to get it and then find out that, you know, it was a really silly choice. But it ticks all the boxes. It has all the main ingredients that we need, and it is so light and it's neat. It's super cool, and it's got not sentimental, but it's got that extra zing value, you know, especially for Aldo and Josue. So all in all, I'm very excited for this project. I love building race cars. The most fun project was building my Vet, building a race car from a bare tub, everything clean and fresh and painted. And I've been itching to do it again since we built this car. And it's time to do it again, but even wilder. Totally different type of build, a lot more fabrication, and it should be a good time. So anyway, I hope you guys stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think of the car. Let me know what power plant we should go with. I've got my mind, not really my heart, but my mind set on a choice. But my mind can be changed, you know? A lot of times people will make great suggestions, but it'll be after I'm already committed to something. So I'd love to hear your suggestions now on a power plant. I think for what we want to do, we're going to need, you know, a comfortable 1500 wheel. So keep that in mind. But, you know, at least on the top end, we're not going to start and go out for a crazy first pass, but we're going to need to have that capability. So anyway, I'm Jibber Jabber. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really hope I'll get to see you next time. But for now, that's it. We're out of time. So thanks. Goodbye.